Hi and welcome to my channel. It's a beautiful spring day here in Melbourne, Australia today, and I'm going to use that time to finish modifying my Fender Mexican Stratocaster. So far, as you may have seen it if you watched a previous video of mine, I've put on some new Fender locking tuners, which worked out really well. So that's a really easy modification to do. You can do it quickly. They all just slip straight in. You can see that they've got the staggered posts. So what that does is it makes changing strings a hell of a lot easier, and it improves the tuning stability of your guitar, and I think just adds a little extra zing to the look of the headstock as well. So I've got a few things planned today. The first thing, well, not the first thing, but one of the things I'm going to do is change the pick guard. So I've got a nice new pick guard I'm going to put on. I've also got a Fender branded plate which I'm going to put on. These things are all just aesthetics. They're not going to actually change the way the guitar plays. It's just for fun and just to make it look better. The only thing I'm going to do as well is block off the tremolo mechanism in the guitar so that the bridge is locked down, which I've already done, but I'll show you how I did that. So that again helps with tuning stability. These few tricks that I'm doing to it, I think it'll just be a great guitar, and I'm just going to try to settle on this now and just hang on, which I say, but I always tend to buy and sell guitars, so we'll see what happens there. But anyway, enough talking. Let's get on with the exercise of tricking this guitar up and see what it looks like at the end. Okay, so excuse the chickens in the background, but as I said, it's a beautiful spring day here in Melbourne, so they're clucking away. The first thing I wanted to show you was what I'm doing with the blocking of the tremolo. So you can see that I've wound the springs up considerably into the body, just the three springs, sorry. And I've also, as you can see there, I've inserted a wooden block just to make sure that it's permanently blocked off. So that's how you just simply block off the tremolo. Probably you don't need to put a block in there like I've done. Tightening the springs seems to hammer the bridge down pretty hard, but I just do that just as an extra thing, so that when you're bending the strings, etc., you're not getting any force that might just move the bridge a little bit. I've got a back plate. That's the back plate that comes with the guitar, the white one. This is the new plate that I've got, which matches the pick guard that I'm going to put on. So you can see it's kind of a bluey grey colour. What I will do is I won't put it on right now because I'll wait till I've restrung the guitar. It'll make it easier to restring with it off. So the first thing I'm going to do now then is I'm going to replace this. So what I've done is I've bought a Fender genuine part neck plate, which I'm just going to fit on there like that. These are great things about the Mexican Strats. They're such good value and such great quality guitars. You can do a few of these things and just have a bit of fun with them and not worry about wrecking it, or, you know, these sort of aesthetic type of improvements don't add any value in a second-hand sense to the guitar. It's really just something you do for fun. Don't do it thinking that you might be able to make some money on the guitar, because you won't. You'll just, these things, it's like a sinkhole. So although these Mexican Strats hold their value really well, this sort of stuff doesn't improve their value. So let's replace this neck plate. Okay, so I've put a box under the neck there because when I loosen this off, I don't want the neck falling off. So here we go, let's see what will happen. Now, I've taken the strings off the guitar as well, which is very important because it's going to be, the strings on there will be a significant amount of force on this, and you don't want that. Okay, so I've taken all the bolts out and that's loosened off, and as you can see the necks come away from the body there. So but that shouldn't be a problem. I mean, this is the beauty of the Leo Fender guitar, where so Leo made these guitars to be fully interchangeable, and that's what they are. So I'm going to put that on now. As I said, I want to be very careful here. So trying to keep everything as much together as possible. And I've kept the same screws in the same position. So I'll tighten that up. So a very, very simple mod. You can get all sorts of different neck plates as well. I was looking at one which had the Diamond series logo on it, which I would have really liked, but someone else beat me to it, so I ended up just going for the standard one. So you can see there the logo, beautiful. I think that looks really good. There's the old neck plate, just a plain sort of thing. This one just, I think, gives it a little bit more class, as Fender obviously do too, because this is the one they put on their American Standards and their new American Professional series. So how easy was that, eh? Very easy mod. As I said, just be really careful. You're working with the neck, you don't want to damage anything. You want to make sure it's really tight and fitting well. But it's really easy to do. Okay, so now that we've done that, let's move on to the pickguard. Here's my new pickguard that I'm going to put on. I think that's going to look pretty cool. The first thing you've got to do, and this is a really simple mod, but it's a little bit fussy. You've got a lot of screws hanging around. You don't want to lose anything. So here are my back plate screws. So I'll keep those over with my back plates. So that they are. So you've got on this particular pickguard, and most Fender Strat pickguards, you've got 11 screws around the side. So they're the first things that we're going to loosen off. Okay, so I'm down here at the last one. Whenever you're doing anything with your guitar, it always pays to be very patient and take your time. You don't want to slip and damage your guitar for any reason, and if you're a bit like me, I tend to barge into things, and sometimes I'm a little careless, so I really try to be a bit more careful when I'm working on my guitars. So what I've done now is I've taken all of the pickguard screws out, so you can see that now that is loose. But so that'll come right away. Just be careful as you pull it up and see the wires. But so that's great. We've got that loose. But now what we've got to do is remove the knobs, the selector switch, and the pickups. So I think the first thing we'll do is with the selector switch. So we'll unscrew that, and we'll take the knob off too, which just pulls straight off. When you unscrew this, it'll just fall back into the body. Come away now, I can feel that. So they'll just push in, so it's going to come off. So the next thing we've got to do is take off the tone knobs and the volume knobs. Get under with a little bit of a screwdriver and give it a bit of a tweak like that. And this is a very handy tool too, which is the spanner from ESP. Get that under there, you can just kind of give it a good wiggle and it pops right off. Okay, so now we're just going to undo these bolts. Again, this is a handy spanner to use, and you just get a grip and loosen them like that. Trying again not to damage anything, because we might want to reuse this pickguard. If I go to sell the guitar or something, I'll probably put this one back on, keep the one I had. Okay, so now I've loosened off all of the selector switch there and the pots, and you can see they've just dropped back into the body, which is nice and easy. But I'm still connected up here to the I'm still connected up there to the pickups. So now I've got to unscrew those. And you just want to be careful doing this because it's a little fiddly. Can you see there how there's a little kind of rubber grommet between the pickguard and the pickup? In that there's usually a spring, or perhaps with this one it's just the rubber grommet, but that kind of gives the pickup height adjustment. Make sure you don't lose those. Another handy thing to do too before you remove the pickups is, if you're happy with your setup and you're happy with the sound of the guitar, is to measure the height of the pickups so that when you go to put them back in, you get the same height, because pickup height really does make quite a large difference to the sound. This guitar is brand new. I haven't really set that up yet, but I'll endeavor to set these up at the same height. I'm not going to measure them today, but I've just kind of taken a mental note of that. So now let's loosen off the pickups and remove those. So you just get your screwdriver and loosen away. That's it. Okay, so as I said, I just want to be careful I don't lose anything, so let's come off now. Okay, so I'll drop that pickup into the front cavity so I know which one's which. Okay, so I've loosened all the screws and the pickups have dropped out. So you can see the pickups just have a kind of a top on them like that. So if you wanted to replace the covers, you could do that now too. I'm not going to do that today, so there's nothing complicated about this. You just want to make sure you don't pull off any wires and that you keep everything in its spot. As I said, the hardest thing I'm finding is that these rubber grommets don't come off so easily, so I'm going to have to work at that, get those out. So I'll do that and then we'll come back. Managed to completely remove this pickguard, take the screws out, everything's gone, so that one's done and dusted. Now what we've got to do is put the pickups back into this one. So I've managed to get the pickups back into the pickguard and screw them in. As I mentioned previously, you need to make sure your pickup height is right, but because this is a new guitar and I hadn't had it set up, I wasn't too fussed about that. I just kind of eyeballed it, but I'll look at that when I've got the strings and everything on and I'm playing it again, but I think they'll be pretty right. So the next thing is now getting the the pots back into their spots. Alright, so they're finger tight. Now I just need to finger tighten up the switch. Just put the shut back on. Done. Alright, so that's starting to really come together. It's starting to look really good. It's going to look great. Very pleased with that. So now I'm just going to tighten up these nuts. I'm going to put the tone knobs and volume knobs back on and put the screws back in on the pickguard, and then she'll be ready to string up and ready to go. So I'll do that and we'll be back in a minute. So we've now finished our tricking up or modifying of our Mexican Strat. There we go. We've got the new, what have we done? We've got the new pickguard, which I think looks really cool. I've also put on the matching back plate. Changed the neck plate, so now it's got a Fender logo on it, as you can see there. We've put on locking tuners, which just help restringing so much. It's really a great mod, that one. The only other thing I could probably do is I could change the string tree on this. So I might do that as well at some stage. So there we go. I've also done some work on the frets, just giving them a kind of a very light going over just to make them feel a little bit better. And there you have it. Really easy, really affordable. The pickguards are $20, $30. Locking tuners, between $75 and $100. The little plate here was $20. So for $150 maybe, $250, $200, I've really tricked this Mexican Strat, which I got at a really good deal, up into a guitar which, if I handed to most people, they wouldn't know the difference between this and an American Standard or American Pro, what they like to call them these days. So I hope you enjoyed that. It was really easy. As I say, I'm no luthier and I'm no handyman. If I can do it, anyone can do it. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more videos. Cheers.